Hi, it's Valen again. I weep for this country, I really do. Um, I worry about the mentality of the party that may or may not win the election, and that's the Tory party. As you know, I'm quite an opponent of the Tories, although I try not to be partisan because the Tories do have some good ideas. The right has some good ideas, good ideological roots, but they are not tempered by the good stuff from the ideological left. But I came home yesterday and I found a letter that epitomises what I hate about the Tories. Now, I live in Thurrock, and Thurrock Council has been for a year or so under Tory control. And I live in a tower block, one of six 14-storey tower blocks in a very small space. And although you'll see it as reversed, this is a letter. I don't know why it's reversed, but it comes up reversed on the video. But you can see it is a genuine letter. And this is what it says. Dear residents, Rough Sleeper. I'm writing to you regarding the rough sleeper that has been using these blocks. I won't actually mention the names of the blocks. Following feedback from residents, the council has managed to obtain an injunction that prohibits him from entering the 6 high-rise blocks in Grays Riverside. Then it lists the name of the blocks. Following this development, we ask that you report any sightings of the rough sleeper in the blocks to the police using 101 in the first instance, but please let me know as your estates officer. Thank you for your support in this matter. And then it's got the phone number if there's any questions regarding this. I won't mention the name of the estates officer, but how disgusting. I mean, there is no context. It could be that this person is taking drugs, but I'm taking it as just someone who is a rough sleeper. Now, the 6 blocks in question all have security doors that you need a fob to get in. So the question is, why is the security door not keeping that person out anyway? But 2, how dare the council demonize, victimize someone who has fallen so low in their fortunes that they have to sleep rough. I'm not saying that someone in the building should, if they've got a spare room, let that person sleep in their spare room, because there are personal safety issues, because there may be more reasons than just not having a home that keep this person as being a rough sleeper. But where's the compassion? Why call the police on them? What we should be doing is asking the more important questions and raising the issue of the fact, why is this person rough sleeping? Not demonizing them, not victimizing them, not calling the police on them. We should have enough compassion as a society to say this person is in need. Let them sleep rough, but ask them why they're sleeping rough. If it's something that we could help with, we should be doing that, helping them get into a hostel or something like that. not just immediately calling the police, and certainly not getting a bloody injunction on them. This isn't the first Tory-run council that has had a legal issue with rough sleepers or things like that. There are some councils now, Tory-led councils, that actually are trying to make it an offence to feed someone who is homeless. How disgusting. And the thing is, it's the Tories who have added to the homelessness. So now a Tory council, Thurrock Council, is now saying that we should call the police on someone whose fortunes have landed them in the position that they have to sleep rough. And it could well be the policies of their own party's parliamentary colleagues who have caused that person to end up being sleeping rough anyway. And now they've got an injunction out and are encouraging people to call the police on them. This is not the society we should be living in. I am a misanthrope. I do not like the rest of the human race. That is because I have been treated quite appallingly by some of the people in my life. In fact, quite a lot of the people in my life. There are some notable exceptions. So I don't really like people, and I find being around people incredibly painful, both psychologically and physically. I feel physically ill around people. But even I would not want to victimize someone who has had to resort to sleeping rough. I still have enough humanity and compassion in me to say that this is wrong. And unfortunately, we have had a society that has been created which demonizes people who may have fallen so far because of things that are out of their control. And I'm not talking just about rough sleepers, I'm talking about people with illnesses or physical or sensory impairments are being demonized. But this, you cannot blame the government for the sensory impairment or the physical impairment or the mental health problem, or not necessarily. I would question whether you couldn't blame the government in some respects on the mental health. But on someone being forced to sleep rough, the government does have some culpability, because homelessness has risen under the Tories. And the local authorities, especially the ones run by the Conservatives, should have more compassion, or at least some responsibility for helping those people affected by the parliamentary Tory party's actions. They shouldn't be asking people to call the police on someone sleeping rough. They should be holding up their hands and saying, well, we probably caused this. And they should take that person in. They should find them somewhere to go, but not resort it to the police. Report it to the estates officer, maybe, because the estates officer may be in a position where they can get them into some sort of housing, but not put out an injunction so that legally that person is now going to become a criminal just for having the misfortune for having to sleep rough. And today I was walking past, I was going to get the litter for my cat's litter tray. And I saw a poster for the Conservative candidate in my area. One of them was too high for me to get to. One was a bit out of my where I was walking. One was where I could get it. And for the first time ever, I actually wanted to tear it down. I am a Democrat. I like democracy. But for once, I actually thought this shouldn't be up here. And I tried, unsuccessfully, thank God, because then I would be a criminal. But to show you how insecure the Tories must be, especially in this area, it was secured so well. It's a plastic sheet, and it has been screwed in so tight, if an earthquake hit the building would fall down, but the poster would still be up. And I couldn't tear it down. I did not have the strength to be able to tear it down anyway. But I am so incensed by this injunction on someone who just happens to be in a position of having to sleep rough, that I was almost willing to tear down the poster of the party that's more than likely responsible. And I say more than likely because there may be other reasons. But they are responsible for putting out an injunction and maybe turning a person who has no other recourse but to sleep rough and turn them into a criminal. I hate the Tories. I really do. But I hate the fact that they are now trying to turn society even more against the demonized groups that the Tories have chosen and are more than likely responsible for. I know I'm kind of pausing at inappropriate moments, but this is how mad I am about this. If you are in a Tory-run authority and you have a similar story, please post it as a comment below. And if you've any messages of hope, please post them below, because I can see no hope in this country, especially if the Tories get in again. Thanks for listening, and please share this video.